Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Ms. Logan, for Table Talk with Entrepreneurs.
Thank you for having me.
And so today we're glad you're here, but the topic that we wanted to address has been the expansion of entrepreneurship in the midst of a pandemic. And so we learned that you actually started a brick and mortar business in the middle of the pandemic. Can you tell us about that journey?
Oh gosh. The journey started just with my love and passion of the product that I sell. And me and my girlfriends was kind of talking about it, and one of them said, well, you got to check out this establishment here in the city. They have the best. And so I did, and I learned that this company had licensing opportunities to expand, kind of like a franchise, if you will, where you have access to the company name, the logo, branding, marketing, all of that. So I contacted them and immediately fell in love with the owners of the company. So I tell everybody I have been dating them since probably March, April, right in the midst of COVID. So we started dating each other, calling each other, having these conversations, if you will, about what does all of that mean. And I prayed about it. And because of my love of the product, I said, well, what better way to start a business? It'd be my first time, commercial, brick and mortar. I have no clue what I was doing. But I stepped out on faith, right? And so September of 2020, decided to take a leap of faith, and I joined the family for this company, and we launched the business February 13th of this year. And so the journey as far as the brick and mortar, again, I had no clue, but I had some conceptual knowledge, if you will, of what to do just from my corporate experience. And so started researching and driving around for different places, and luckily this spot is literally 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yes, perfect. And then of course we started doing the negotiations and all the good stuff as far as the pricing per square footage, and came to a consensus and signed the agreement, and here we are.
Awesome. A lot of people are looking into franchising, and so it's been an awesome opportunity, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure.
So you were talking about that, so I know you said you took a leap of faith. And I've noticed on your wall that you have, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. What does that really mean to you for where you're at now?
Oh God, you're gonna make me get my box of tissues. My faith has always been strong. I've been in church, raised in church all my life. Grew up with a musical family, so we stayed in church all my life. Currently now, and praise and worship leader here in the Charlotte area. And so that specific scripture just says it all. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, which means to me that if you just trust God, if you ask, believe, you shall receive, and He will direct your path and give you everything that you need. Sometimes as human beings, though, we let our flesh get in front of our faith, right? I mean, we all do it. But as long as you go back to the truth, go back to the source, which is, in my faith, is I'm a Christian, is Almighty God, and reading His Word, His promises never lie. And so if you trust on His Word, you can do anything.
I agree. Thank you for that. And when you first opened, you had the grand opening, church opening, and I believe was it the Chamber of Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte Chamber. So I became a member of the Charlotte Chamber. I actually found out about the information from a colleague down a couple of doors down, another business down the street. And they were saying how they had their grand opening and telling me all the process. And they said, when you become a member of Charlotte Chamber, you have all this access, and they can help you with your grand opening, the ribbon cutting, all of that. So I became a member, talked with the leader there, about to tear up because every time I think about it, that day it was raining and cold. And I'll never forget it, raining and cold, and I kept saying to myself, nobody's gonna come. Well, my system at the end of the day said I had approximately 147 people that came through. My bishop came through that day, and he prayed over it. And one thing that stood out to him, we talked about the rain and cold, how now that it's raining, God is watering the seeds that I have been planted so that this building can grow, this business can grow, and I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost it that day, and so, and when I walked out, Olivia, when I walked out the door and saw the number of people that were on the sidewalks waiting for the grand opening, it was so unbelievable, but it was so rewarding.
Now, I've heard you've had some very interesting customers and some celebrities pop in on it. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I've had a good friend of mine who is an author and an actor. His name is Ron Goffrey from Atlanta, Georgia, to help me get the word out about popcorn, about the business. He came up and did a live on social media for me.
Oh, wow.
And it brought so many people in the door. Actually, he's coming back for his book signing in July. So he's going to be here at the establishment to do his book signing. And then I had Tommy DiCarlo, who is a former member of the legendary rock band Boston.
Oh, wow.
Now, I raised my hand. I didn't know who Boston was. I didn't know who Tommy was. So I started doing some research, and I started asking some other people. They was like, oh my God, he's a legend. And so he comes in here just about every other week and buy the product. And he said to me one time when he came in, he said, I love your product so much. I will do whatever I can to bring awareness to your company. And he has done just that.
Oh, wow.
And he heard that I was the music that I play. Sometimes I play jazz, sometimes I play gospel music. That day I was playing gospel music. And he heard it, and he saw the scriptures on the walls, and he said, I want to sing you one of my cover songs, which is a Christian song. And it's called Good Morning, Lord. And he did it.
Oh, wow.
It's just been so awesome. So this establishment, I'm counting this establishment as the place to come when people come in from out of town, celebrity, normal citizens, if you will, stop by this establishment. You never know who you're going to see.
Awesome. Now, I heard that you are also a podcaster.
Yes, I am.
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and how that kind of resonates with your brick and mortar?
Absolutely. So I am a co-host of a podcast called Conversations with Entrepreneurs. There are 5 entrepreneurs that have our own businesses, and we record on a weekly basis, on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. You can find us on all the social media, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, Instagram, IGTV, all of them, we're there. And so we come together on a weekly basis just to talk about our experience, our individual experiences, as well as the experiences from other entrepreneurs. So the platform to me really is a platform to help those aspiring entrepreneurs who may not have an idea of how to get started in entrepreneurship, but then when they hear our show, then they will get the tools and resources needed, like funding, access to capital, how to build a website, financials, you name it. This group is the platform for that. And so it has been very rewarding to be a part of this group. We learn from each other, we laugh, we cut up, we make it real, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's hosted by a good friend of mine that I've known for years, and so I'm just very grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be a part of such a group that makes a difference.
So you were saying, you had mentioned how your bishop came to your opening and he was talking about planting seeds. How else did that particular phrase resonate?
It's so ironic that his message was about the day, raining, cold, me not thinking anyone's gonna come, and how he brought it all together that God sent the rain to plant the seeds, to water the seeds that I had already planted to help them grow, to help the business grow. Well, with the podcast group, Conversations with Entrepreneurs, one of our topics is planting seeds, an entrepreneur's journey. And so we talk about the different stages that an entrepreneur would need to take from beginning to end, right? To even start a business plan, right? Business plan. Where do you go for financials, marketing, all of that? So we talk about that type of information on the podcast. So just one thing just led to another, and God has been watering the seeds that I have planted, the connections that I have made, the relationships that I've had from years ago are resurfacing. So it's just amazing how everything just kind of comes together.
I know you said you have members of your church that have visited your establishment. And I also heard that when you said too, you was on the praise and worship and you sing in choir, and you had visitors from there. Could you tell us about that experience?
Oh gosh, absolutely. So the day of the launch of the business, majority of the customers were from my church. And the support was just so overwhelming, it's unbelievable. Then also, several weeks later, on a Saturday, it wasn't planned. It just so happened that a few members of the praise team came into the establishment all at the same time. And of course, as praise and worship leaders and singers, when singers get in a room, we're going to start singing. So that's what happened. We just bursted out into song and just had a mighty good time. That happened on several occasions, actually, where we just come together and just have fun. And I just want this establishment to be just that. I want when they come in, they may be coming into the store with something on their mind, something that may be bothering them. But my goal is by the time that they leave, that is removed and they're leaving with a smile on their face. And so I think we've been doing pretty good with that.
And I'm going to throw you a curveball this time.
Uh-oh.
I know there's another thing that's near and dear to your heart. And I remember one of your earlier press conferences, you discussed that you are a survivor. Would you like to tell viewers your journey on being a survivor and what your survivor are?
Absolutely. I am this year makes 17 years as a breast cancer survivor. I was 36 years old when I was diagnosed. Went through the whole journey of chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, the whole nine, while taking care, becoming a caregiver for my mother as well too. So my own health, but take care of a parent who had now turned into a child like herself. God rest her soul, she passed in 2016. But yeah, breast cancer survivor, 17 years. God meant for me to be here on this earth for a little while longer because He had something for me to do and a message to share, which then birthed my women's empowerment organization called I Am Her Too. We provide education and resources to women on how to live a healthy, empowered, and resilient lifestyle. And that is all basis from my journey as a breast cancer survivor.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And the one thing I like that what can resonate with people is you can be a serial entrepreneur. You can juggle different things. If your mind and your heart is set on something, you're living proof. It can be done.
Absolutely.
It can be done. You may need some vacays here and there.
Yes.
But it can definitely be done. And I think as far as women business owners, that's very important. And you seem to embody that completely and fully.
Thank you.
What is the one thing that you like to do when you need to take a break from it all?
Oh, gosh. I love to go to the beach. Something about your feet in the sand and just being silent and listening to the water. To me, that is, when you become silent, to me, that's when you can really hear the voice of God. Even the water is splashing. It is such a calmness, such a peace. I'm about ready to go. You know those little water fountains that you can buy in the store, and you just hear the water just flow.
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get one to put in here so I can have that peace. But yeah, I love the beach, and I am overdue for going to the beach. It's time for me to put my toes in the sand.
That'll definitely be a good getaway.
Yes, ma'am.
I think even in the midst as we're recovering from the pandemic, that's like one of the safest places.
Yes.
That you can go to. What are other things that you do? It's definitely spiritual. But for other women in the what are the other things that you do to make sure that you stay structured and organized? Because that's a key factor to with entrepreneurs and your business background. So how we transition from corporate America to entrepreneurs, sometimes what we did for them helps us manage what we do for ourselves. And you could go into details about that?
Absolutely. So in my corporate experience, I was a project program manager. So I managed several national programs for the one of the largest financial institutions here in the Charlotte area. So I was with that company for like 19 years, and so becoming and having that experience as project/program manager, and the detail, being organized and knowing your budgets, knowing your scope of work, translates over into entrepreneurship. I'll never forget that my team, I was in supply diversity at that time, my team used to tease me, and they called me Anal Annie because I kept everything. I kept everything, but I can guarantee you if they needed something, I could put my hands on it just like that. And so very detailed oriented, organized, everything has its place. I know that probably gets on some people's nerves, but for me, that's the part of life. And so now as an entrepreneur, I find myself using those same tools and resources to keep the business running. You gotta have some type of structure. You gotta know your vision. You gotta know, have a mission of where you want your business to go and grow, right? But then also don't be afraid to ask for help.
True.
That's the biggest, hardest thing for me that I've had to learn. I can't do it all. Even though I want to be Superwoman and Wonder Woman, there's only one Wonder Woman. So I guess I better stick to what I know and just ask for help. Learn to ask for help. So.
And then when you had your grand opening, I know you had family there. What did that mean for you as far as your family was concerned? Like, how did that feel? Like, what did that show your nieces or nephews or anything? How did that feel?
That family is family. It meant the world to me to have my sister there, my niece there, my nephews came. My sister still comes. She comes every Saturday. She drives from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
To help run the establishment, and that just means so much. And she shared with me the other day, and she was just like, I'm just so glad that God has given us the opportunity to work together. So much so that she's thinking about retiring from her job. I'm like, don't do that just yet. But it means a lot to have family and that support with you when you're still trying to figure it out. Your family is like, we're here no matter what.
They say that the first year of your business is usually the biggest struggle.
Ooh, that is no lie. And it's only been, I'm gonna be honest with you, while it feels like it's been a year already, it's only been since February.
Yeah, barely 6 months.
Yeah, barely 6 months. And I think, to be honest with you, I think we're in a pretty good position for now. And so I'm looking for greatness. I'm looking for more success, and I know it will be. I just have to have the patience to make sure it goes through its ebb and flows, and just be patient with it and let it do its due diligence.
I know a lot of people are looking at now as to now that we're on the verge of opening up, how is your business prepared for that?
Yeah.
That influx of more customers or other, so have you thought about that, and what are you putting in place to be able to deal with it, and what are you letting stay in place even as the states are saying Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I am so ready for it. I'm ready for the customers to come, so yeah, come on in. But what's staying in place for now, I still have the sign on my window that says face mask required. Some folks still come in with their masks, some do not, but because I've been fully vaccinated, the restriction of making sure that they have a mask is, I kind of a little lenient, just a little bit. And I'll probably keep that up for a little while until I'm fully comfortable. I'll probably still keep the 6 feet away. You know, why not? There's just more precautions, those things that I would definitely stay in place. But as far as preparing for more customers, we ready.
That's a good sign. That's definitely a good sign. I think when I look at the floor and then you see the 6 feet apart, you think about the lines of people that are coming, and it just seems like it's so far. It's like you got people wrapped around the block because of the 6 feet.
Yeah.
Because of the 6 feet. So
I can see that vision. I can see that vision. People wrapped around.
Oh, we're going to state it and we go through
Absolutely. You're speaking it into existence.
And so I think school, even though it's been virtual remote, are you thinking come this summer you're going to have more kids coming in or college students? Or?
I believe so. As a matter of fact, one of the companies that's across here is an acting studio.
Oh, wow.
And I do see a lot of kids, I'm starting to see a lot of kids come through that organization. So I think that's...
I like last words. So if you could just look out and then tell our viewers, what would be your last words?
My last word would be around faith. Have faith in what it is that you desire to do. Believe in what you desire to do. If there's a passion or a burning desire within your soul, within your spirit, of something that you've always wanted to do, I would say act on it. Do not let anything or anyone deter you from that feeling, because that could be an idea that someone is waiting for. Someone is waiting for us, you, me, to obtain our goals so that they can obtain their goals. So believe in what it is that you're passionate about.
We thank you so much for joining Table Talk today and seeing the beacon of light that you are for African American women who are looking to start their businesses, and even in the midst of the pandemic, and having that faith and keeping it and not letting other people deter you. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing your journey.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
And we thank everyone for tuning in to Table Talk this week. We'll be back with another amazing business person soon.